Everybody, it's Eric with High Altitude Gardening. I wanted to share a tip that I learned this year about hot caps, which are these little paper caps, or I guess they're called hot caps. They're basically a waxed paper formed cap that go over your seedlings to insulate them, to help them germinate. Here in Flagstaff, Arizona, we don't have a really long growing season. Matter of fact, it's end of August, and it's pretty much wrapping up. We might have another month or so before it starts getting really cold at night and killing everything. But I used these for the first time this year for sprouting some seeds, and I've got somewhat of a mixed review. The only reason this one is staying upright still is because there's a piece of rebar underneath it, because I took it off the seedlings here that I gave up on and just put it on a little piece of rebar, and it stayed there most of the summer. But the cool thing about them is that they do fit over the seedlings well. They do have some good space underneath them. A couple of the downfalls is that because they are paper, you have to anchor them in a couple of spots so that they don't blow away. If you get any decent wind or breeze, they're gonna blow away, because I've had a couple of them blow away. Blew up over here against the fence, and then that girl probably ate them. So you have to anchor them in a couple spots, which is kind of a pain for watering, because you have to take off the rocks or whatever you're anchoring with, take off the cap, water, put everything back. Another thing is that when they get wet, which they're going to if you get any kind of weather, they get completely flat. That's pretty much ground level there. So they do get flat, and then after that they're pretty much ineffective. So I guess just feed them to your goats, or recycle them or whatever. A couple of things that I found this year that work really well, let me walk around the other garden bed, is that we get these organic salads in these plastic containers. You can get them, I don't know, like Sam's Club I think usually has like organic spinach, pretty good price. And they come in these little plastic containers. And this one's actually melted a little bit in the sun, because up here in 7,000 feet we got pretty high UV, so they tends to melt the plastic. But nice thing about them is that they do fit pretty flat. They're clear, so you can see what's sprouting underneath there. And then all I gotta do is throw one rock on top, and it's a little bit easier for watering. Another thing I've used this year are these little 1-gallon buckets. We get our sun butter and coconut oil and some of the other things in bulk, so we get these little 1-gallon buckets with them. And instead of recycling them or throwing them out, I've found that if you throw them over a plant or a seedling, they insulate pretty well also, and they do a pretty good job. There's proof of it. That's summer squash that I started kind of late in the season, that's why it's as small as it is. But it did pretty well putting it under that bucket to start the seeds. So I'm pretty happy with the bucket and the old salad container. I think I'm going to use those going forward instead of the hot caps, because hot caps are only about 95 cents or so at the local cow ranch where I got them. Just not that impressed. Since I've already got the buckets and the salad containers, I'm just going to go ahead and keep using those, and then just make sure I put them away in the summertime after the things have sprouted underneath them, to keep them from melting like that. Another thing I found out this year, which is kind of cool, is that when I got my little pepper plant started, actually I think I bought this from the local farmers market as a seedling, but out here in the acreage that we have a lot of rabbits and moles and ground squirrels that like to eat baby plants, because I guess they're pretty tasty. I haven't tried one myself, but I'll just take their word for it. But I try to reuse as much as I can. So I had this old 5-gallon bucket that actually had a hole in the bottom. It filled up with water last winter, and then thawed, froze, and ended up cracking the bottom. So I cut the bottom of it out and just put it right around the plant, right around the little seedling, and that kept the moles and the rabbits and any of the other critters from nibbling on them, and then turned into a pretty decent pepper plant. Got a couple of peppers on there already. That's pretty much it as far as my hot tips for the day, as far as starting seeds. I know it's a little late in the season to be starting seeds now, but for maybe next spring, if you don't have the room inside to to start them. I did start as many as I could in the windowsills, but I've only got so much room, so when it warms up a little bit I can start seeds outside. And these little guys in the buckets worked pretty darn well. So that's my hot tips. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I'll try to answer them as fast as I can. And thanks for watching.